Deputy Director of Macroeconomic Modelling and Forecasting at the think tank NIESR. Joining us now, Stephen, you've heard, I think, what our correspondents are saying. If we look at the big picture, how disruptive could this extreme weather end up being if it becomes the new normal?
Well, if it becomes the new normal, it'd be extremely disruptive, just as your correspondent just said. At the minute, for the UK as a whole, the hit to GDP is actually not that large, but there are obviously areas where you can already see disruption. Trains were being cancelled on my line tonight as I was taking the train home. Retail, you can see that shoppers are not going out as much, and that hits retail. And healthcare as well. There's a big increase in admittances to hospitals, and at the same time, actually, a couple of hospitals have run into problems with their cooling systems.
You know, if you think of the smaller businesses, the independent sandwich shop, the local hairdresser, the family-run pub, how equipped are they likely to be as heat increases?
Yeah, much less so than the big companies. I mean, as your correspondent says, the big retailers, places like Oxford Street, they have air conditioning in all of the big shops, and actually that brings more people in because they become refugees against the heat. But your small local businesses would just typically not have the wherewithal to actually equip their stores with air conditioning. So they are much more likely to be hit indeed than the larger companies.
And we've heard just earlier today London's Mayor Sadiq Khan addressing this directly with a plan. Clearly it's been months in the making, the Heat Ready London plan. What are your thoughts on that plan and the role that government is going to have to play?
Well, it's excellent to see that the Mayor has spent some time and has gathered actually institutions from across London, because the thing is, if we are going to tackle the problem of dealing with the higher temperatures, then it's got to be a joint effort. It's got to involve the government, the local government, the boroughs, various healthcare, fire, emergency services, but also individuals as well, the private sector, as they all try and better equip the city for dealing with the heat. But it's good to see that the plan is there. It's good to see that they're focusing on provision of water for people, provision of more trees, more shade. Those are important. Retrofitting houses, that's important. And also that they notice that the heat tends to affect poorer households more than it does richer households. So they've built in, if you like, a priority of trying to level up, help the poorer households deal with the heat, because they're the ones who suffer more.
Yeah, and a lot of adaptation will have to happen. Most of the houses in Europe are simply built to keep the heat in because it's always been so cold. We're now approaching a new way with lots more hot summers ahead. It's also going to affect and is already affecting consumer behaviour. What is your sense of how things are going to change?
Well, I mean, the big thing is that we are going to have to start introducing air conditioning into houses. I mean, the UK housing stock is actually much older than typical other countries in Europe. And that creates a problem because our houses are not very good at staying warm in the winter, and equally they're really bad at staying cool in the summer. So we will have to retrofit a lot of air conditioning. And I think the other thing is we're going to notice a big change in behaviour as people work from home more, so to avoid having to go into city centres on hot days. We're likely to see more shopping from home on hot days as well. So lots of behavioural adaptations. But I guess, as I said up front, the big thing really is going to be adapting the housing stock to match the new normal.
All right. Thank you so much for your insights, Stephen Millard, Deputy Director of Macroeconomic Modelling and Forecasting at the think tank NIESR.